Yakuza 0, the drama, the fun and massacre. Review. Localization of Yakuza games to the West always takes a very long time, but the wait is worth it. Yakuza 0 release in Europe was held almost 2 years later than in Japan. However, to assess the prequel series is definitely worth it even to those who Northeast were before had not experienced. Why? Read our reviews. Content genre adventure publisher Sega, publisher in Russia Softklab, developed by Sega, release date January 24, 2016, age limit 18 years, platforms PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 official website. The game was tested on PlayStation. For each of us has such a series of games that we Northeast were touched, but always promise myself someday for her to take. Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Resident Evil, Dragon Quest, The Legend of Zelda, and anything you want. And if you are one of those who avoided the Yakuza series, but this year Sega offers an excellent opportunity to join it, playing the prequel. Don't need to know the backstory of the characters, as they're past Yakuza 0 and dedicated. And after passing will be very difficult to resist and not to try at least a couple of sequels. Getting started. The first character that represents the player is familiar to fans of the series, Kazuma Kiryu. Being part of the clan Dojima, he gets another job associated with knocking out debts from unscrupulous citizens. The work it performs quickly and efficiently, but soon the debtor is killed. To prove his innocence is not easy, especially when you believe the Kazuma no one wants the other clans beneficial to the appearance of dark stains on the reputation Dojima. So Kiryu is doing everything possible to protect his loved ones and to understand who and why he was framed. Another main character who will also be glad to see the fans, Garo Majima, the manager of a successful cabaret in Osaka. Once he was expelled from the Yakuza clan, but hoped to return. Guy does not lose. Moreover, he continues to faithfully fulfill the conditions that confront them bosses. At some point he gets another job, not apparent at first glance something extraordinary, but for him Garo is embroiled in a maelstrom of strange events. The story has always been one of the strongest components of the Yakuza, and the 0 part confirms that. Despite the orderly narrative, called history prolonged not, it's full of original ideas, plot twists, interesting and gradually reveals characters, as well as efficiently translated into English dialogues. Even if some screen essays air for the last half hour, skip and yawn as boredom is not necessary. Almost every scene there is something unusual, sad, funny, or simply important for the understanding of history. Therefore, to perceive Yakuza 0 as the Japanese equivalent Sleeping Dogs or GTA in any case it is not necessary. There is no such vast territories, the dialogues are much longer, and mindlessly hit the muzzle all in the road will not be allowed. Open world consists of 2 small entertainment areas, each of which can be crossed in minutes, while virtually every building, waiting for the player with additional entertainment, and in the alleys and on the streets you can stumble upon one of the hundreds of side quests. Such missions given to the player almost without his participation. Once you get past a certain character as he begins to tell his story, either the protagonist overhears someone talking or he starts the conversation. Many of the side effects of original and memorable. There was a place and family reunions, and the problems of fathers and children, and saving poor people from the dangers of the world. In some cases, Kazuma and Garo will have to try on a role of other people, if only to help the citizens. Some tasks can squeeze out a tear, others might make a good laugh. In general, will not be bored. Similarly, you can stumble upon scurrying around fighters. Yakuza will either have to fight them or avoid them. The fight will take no more than a few minutes, but the reward would be substantial, tens or even hundreds of thousands of yen. The money is flowed like water, so worry about the lack of funds for food and Lashilki is not necessary. But all kinds of upgrades for heroes are very expensive. The latter will cost as much as 1 billion yen each. But many of them are really good and improving health, and powerful new moves, and increase the force of the blow, and more. Stylish and tasteful. Each of the characters have 3 fighting styles that they are learning, even if not immediately, but very quickly. There is a 4th style, however, to unlock much more complicated, and it appears closer to the finale. But without it, a combat system called monotonous did not manage to switch between styles allow on the fly, which in turn affects the musical accompaniment during the fight, and the use of different combinations will help you to constantly keep your distance and don't give the enemies time to recover. Kazuma, for example, initially only knows the style brawler, the standard set of techniques like weak and strong strikes and grabs. He then studies rush, allowing to deliver quick attacks and evade danger, like teleporting a few inches. This works against one enemy, but not too effective in the battle with the crowd. But then he learned the beast is the most interesting of the 3, turns hero into a leisurely machine of destruction, for which all means are good. The course will signs, traffic cones, cars, motorcycles. Because of the slowness of Kazumi, there is a risk to lose a few HP, but it's worth a couple of times to wipe the bike, as the enemies there will be no chance for salvation. The city also has a standard style, but his attacks seem more elegant, though no less dangerous. Eventually he gets access to a baseball bat and style slugger, destroying all in its path with devastating combo attacks. The original looks the breaker. The character literally performs the dance stunts, swinging legs with such speed that opponents often do not have time to react. In some situations it is desirable to adhere to a certain style, for example, when you need to block common attacks, but in the open world or in other skirmishes with groups of regular enemies, nothing prevents to choose a mood and alternate them. In between the scuffle, you can go in search of other entertainment. There is a bowling alley, darts, billiards, dancing or arcade machines with classic Sega projects, such as a difficult Space Harrier or Adrenaline by the standards of the 80s Spout Run. Somewhere nearby you'll find the nostalgic machines with the claw-to-catch toys. Great done, and karaoke. Any song quickly changes into a costume scene with the participation of the singer. Timely pressing the buttons that is not distracting, and emotions deliver exceptionally positive. There are more serious mini-games related to the plot classes of the main characters. Kazuma, for example, collaborates with a real estate agency that competes with the Team 5 Billionaires of Kamarako. Each member controls one of the sections of the city. The task of the hero is to redeem the shops and restaurants, to enhance its influence. One purchase is not limited. Child need to invest in their development, to hire security guards and managers, and sometimes to defend the territory in the fight. Zaro is keeping perfect order in his cabaret. What makes this restaurant the best in town? That's right, beautiful girls. They need to choose, taking into account all parameters from appearance to communication skills and the ability to squeeze out of clients as much money as possible. Of course, the most experienced employee will require higher salaries, but such is the price for leadership in business. Only one casting is not limited. It is necessary in real time to monitor what is happening in the institution, to observe whether the girl's hand if visitors did not straight weather and cabaret some violent drunk. The better the staff and the positive atmosphere, the higher the profits and reputation. Content very much, but the passage of the main storyline will take about 30 hours. What can we say about 100 side quests, mini-games described above the management, as well as numerous combat tests and other modes, are available including the main menu, Yakuza 0. If you want you can play online with other like opponents in poker, mahjong and dice. Or if you have a second controller on a single screen to try out some more simple mini-games, Yakuza 0 will certainly become one of the most memorable exclusives for the PlayStation this year. A fascinating story, well-written, voiced and animated characters, a large variety of content. The game is constantly rewarding you for exploration of the environment and encourages to learn all that there is. Now waiting for the remake of the first part, which will be released in the West in the summer. Advantages: the great crime story with interesting characters and captivating dialogue, the wide variety of side missions, from sad to funny and lyrical, exciting battle system with a few unique styles, great opportunity to join the series. Disadvantages: some of the important dialogues are not voiced, rare, but caught the eye of blurry texture.